And would you please welcome the Executive Director of IFA, Mr. Jens Heidecker, to the stage with a big round of applause.
Good morning. Good morning. A big welcome to Berlin and to the second Media Day here at IFA 2019. I think on your way here you will have seen the exhibition halls are still a bit of a construction site, with exhibitors putting the finishing touches to their booths. But it's going to be another exciting IFA year, with halls that fully booked and a record number of exhibitors. And it's really good to meet old friends here of IFA again, like LG Electronics and Dr. IP Park. Last year, LG delivered the opening keynote. And here at IFA, and it really made a huge impact. It's companies like LG Electronics that underpin IFA and the IFA innovation story. LG itself can look back at more than 60 years of technology tradition. And more importantly, it is also one of the world's top innovators, providing thought leadership to our industry, always challenging, always exploring, and never complacent. And you could see LG's innovative edge last year during the keynote delivered by both the CEO and the CTO of this company. They outlined a bold vision of a world transformed and shaped by the power of artificial intelligence. To make, and indeed, it's AI. It's not a future product. AI has arrived. It's now. Just walk the halls here at IFA, and you will see AI built into more and more home appliances, B2B solutions, and services to make our lives easier, simpler, and more comfortable. LG, with its leadership in AI technology, has been a key driver to get us there. And that's why I'm really pleased to introduce today's LG Future Talk, powered by IFA. Hosting today's discussion is our old friend and partner, the President and Chief Technology Officer of LG Electronics, Dr. IP Park. He's a computer engineer by training. During the past 2 decades, he has worked on a huge range of products, from mobile devices and smart TVs to mobility systems. He joined LG Electronics in 2017 and has been its CTO, Chief Technology Officer, since 2018. For a company best known for its devices and appliances, making a computer engineer the CTO, this is a huge step. It just shows how much of today's consumer electronics is underpinned by software. Under his leadership, LG launched Think, a brand that's dedicated to AI-powered products and services. This year's LG booth at IFA is the LG Think Home, an amazing showcase of how AI is transforming our homes. But what does the future hold? I believe IP and his distinguished panelists will have the answer. IP, it's over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jens, once again, for that very kind introduction. And it's great to be back in Berlin once again. I can't believe it's been already 1 whole year since our last year's LG keynote at IFA. Well, some of you might remember that during that keynote, I presented 3 keywords: evolve, connect, and open, which define LG's artificial intelligence strategy. Evolve, connect, and open. These are 3 objectives that we aspire to in all of our AI-powered products and solutions. They are our standard for a kind of AI which will make life even better. Not just improving what we are doing already, but fundamentally transforming how we live and shape our lives. And to discuss that vision of transformation this morning, I'm offering this theme for today's topic: anywhere is home. Think about what home is to us. It's that space of comfort, your own place, a nest of ultimate personalization, where things are to your liking, nobody else's. Well, the thing is, with the help of AI and connectivity, increasingly we are seeing those same descriptions become applicable to spaces other than your own home. Whether it's your car, office, or school, the key is that you are able to keep more and more of that homeness wherever you go, have things just how you like them. Settings for products, appliances, furniture, environmental conditions, or your favorite contents or experience. So our job with AI is to deliver on that expression: home isn't a place, it's a feeling. And to discuss just how we're going to do that through Evolve, Connect, and Open, it is my great pleasure to introduce three wonderful panelists. First up, Dino Flore is Vice President of Qualcomm, where he is responsible for the development of a wide range of technologies. No doubt the best person to talk to about the future of connectivity, 5G, and beyond. Maurice Conti is a technologist and a visionary futurist, currently Chief Innovation Officer at Alpha, Europe's first moonshot factory powered by Telefonica. Many of you probably know him from his fascinating TED Talk on intuitive AI, which has been viewed over 9 million times. And last but not least, Ralph Wiegmann is the CEO of IF International Forum Design, the force behind the prestigious IF Design Award. Remarkably, Ralph has been leading IF for 25 years, which goes to explain the solid strength of IF, not just as an awarding organization, but as a center of excellence in design. So, without further ado, please welcome to the stage my panelists, Dino, Maurice, and Ralph, with a big round of applause. Ralph, Maurice, Dino. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today this morning. Let's get straight down to business, shall we? The first idea I want to discuss with you is Evolve. It's about the kind of AI which evolves by learning through continued and accumulating interaction with people. The more you use it, the better it understands you, your living patterns, your preferences, your style, and ultimately even your feelings. And these devices will start appreciating value the moment you bring them home, because they start to get better and better over time. A great example of this idea is what we are experimenting with our robot vacuum cleaners. The robot vacuum cleaners, they're already pretty smart. For instance, they can scan and recognize the surface around them using camera. However, the current generation of robot vacuum cleaners still get stuck sometimes when they run into small gaps or obstacles. And that can cause quite a bit of trouble sometimes. So what we're doing there is using AI to enable these robot cleaners to learn about the places they get stuck. So when they get to the same spot next time, they can move out of it without getting stuck again. And we want this type of evolving intelligence on all of our devices eventually, which is why we have developed the world's most advanced AI chip for home appliances. This AI chip uses LG Neural Engine, and it leverages on-device AI to process both video and audio data to enable devices to learn and evolve. And our plan is to also make this chip available to companies and research organizations, even outside LG, so it can power as many products as possible. Maurice, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I'm impressed with the energy, focus, and creativity that you've been applying to AI just in the recent past. I think it's very exciting, so I applaud that effort. And I think you are particularly well placed in this space for a couple of reasons. And the first, let's think about how machine systems learn. They sort of learn in three general ways. There's reinforcement, virtual modeling, and observation or demonstration, right? So let's take the vacuuming robot as an example. It comes home from the store, it's very excited to get to work and clean your house, but it doesn't know anything about that house. It doesn't know its way around,
nothing in the beginning, right?
And so what it does, it goes out and it sort of feels its way around the environment. It has a camera, it can look, it learns by trial and error, it bumps into things, and it gets better over time and it eventually works. And that's basically reinforcement, right? Specifically SLAM.
Yep.
As you start to deploy a system of machines that are interconnected and can understand each other and running on top of something like the ThinkU platform, interesting things start to happen. So for instance, in that same house, maybe there's a smart fridge, and he's the old guy in the house. He's been there for a few years, knows his way around, doesn't know anything about vacuuming, but could give the new vacuum a 3D model of the space. And then the vacuum overnight could run an algorithm on that space and design the perfect path through the variety of rooms to do the best job it can. So the next morning, on its first day of work, it can get started and do a really good job, right? So that's virtual modeling. It's solving a problem in virtual space and then executing in the physical world. It's just like autonomous cars playing Grand Theft Auto to learn how to drive initially, right?
Absolutely,
before doing dangerous things in the real world. Then there's the next level, and I think this is actually the most interesting to me, and one that LG is particularly well placed to leverage. And that is, all of these smart appliances can pay attention to what I do. Now, I'm very good at walking around my house without bumping into things, right? Better than any robot on the planet today. But if these appliances can observe me and learn from the way humans do things, that's a very powerful combination. This sort of hybrid human-machine learning models, I think, are going to be the most interesting. And because of your relationship with the person in the home, you're very well positioned to take advantage of that.
Very, very interesting, Ralph, you have any insights on this?
Well, let's see. I think it's a real fascinating time we're facing and sharing at least. But like always, we have to make sure that we take people on a user journey. This is an important issue, and make sure that they do not feel left behind or disconnected.
Absolutely.
There's always, at least always, one generation. Unfortunately, right now it's my generation that will feel kind of stupid and overwhelmed by technology, because this seems to be too complex for us. So evolving intelligence sounds great, and if the usability and interaction is very well solved, it will serve us in very many helpful ways. The challenge for your design team, at least, is to provide easy to use and understand interfaces, as they are crucial to make sure this innovation will be accepted, especially by elderly.
Absolutely, I think that's very, very important. And that's exactly why we are investing so much of our time and energy in our ThinkU platform. It's a foundation for all of our AI-powered products, solutions, and services. There's our cloud service platform, AI engine, and many other components that constitute ThinkU platform. So when you see an LG product that carries the brand LG ThinkU, what you're seeing is not just a smart product as its own pre-programmed thing, but a part of evolving AI-powered ecosystem. So LG ThinkU is much more than just a brand. It's our unified vision for the system of evolving intelligence. And as of today, I'm very proud to announce that ThinkU will now include not just our AI products, but also a whole range of IoT devices as well. Dino, I'm sure you have much to say about this idea of intelligent ecosystem.
So it's true. It's a very exciting time we are living on, because it's the time where we are introducing the 5G connectivity platform, which will allow us, if up to today we have been connecting people, now we'll be able to connecting objects around us. And this way we can rethink and reshape our interaction with the environment, our homes, our houses. And this is a very important revolution we're going to create in the coming years. When you couple the connectivity capabilities with the AI capabilities, you can really think about this intelligent object, create intelligent object that can really create disruptive services.
Okay, very good point. Maurice, maybe you have a few more words on top of this?
Yeah, I think one interesting thing is what happens when you have machines that become connected, as you're saying. And again, it's around the way that machines learn. But let's compare to humans. So for instance, let's say you had to teach me how to speak Korean. That would be really hard. I'm pretty good at languages, but it would be very hard.
I could do that.
And maybe, we would have a first lesson. I would understand maybe 70% of that. By tomorrow morning, I only recall 50% of that 70%, and then we would, keep doing the process.
I would recall maybe 10%.
And as we get older, it gets worse and worse, which is actually true and interesting. And after a very long time, I might be able to speak to my LG refrigerator in its native tongue, right? But it's a very lossy process.
Yep.
Machines are different in that respect. They have an advantage over humans because when one machine knows a thing, all machines can know that thing.
Yeah, that's
right?
very, very powerful.
Virtually instantly, and basically for free. So the little cleaning robot, if it learns how to solve a problem in my house, the next morning, all of its cousins all around the world, because they're connected, can solve that same problem.
Yep.
Right? That's sort of the first level. The next level is that as these machines are talking to each other, they can cooperate to learn things that they can't learn by themselves. So back to the home. The television, for instance, knows about entertainment, and it knows that maybe on Friday, the last episode of Game of Thrones is coming on. The refrigerator doesn't know anything about that, and the TV doesn't know anything about buying food, but the TV can say, hey, look, Game of Thrones is coming on Friday. I know that it's a big deal. Get ready. And then the refrigerator can buy a bunch of food for the party that's going to happen on Friday.
Really,
right?
really cool. Yeah. Ralph?
I'm curious what the fridge would serve for Games of Thrones. Really curious. But the development of these new products, at least, has reached an unbelievable and amazing speed.
Yep.
And the users or target groups can hardly follow and identify the changes from Model A to Model B. The time is, for your engineers and your designers, the time is really short and not long enough to reinvent or invent and provide the best possible solution. Because the next,
tell me about it, the time is short.
Because the next CS show, the next IFA show is already starting soon, coming up soon. So from a design point of view, it seems to be a little bit risky, as many promises cannot really be kept. So, but personally, I'm fascinated if I really think about all the options. The user journey will be challenging, but very exciting, as more and more products offer these integrated user interfaces, but unfortunately, without a harmony of systems.
I agree with you 100%. Now, so that brings us to our next point, which is connect. Here, the goal is to make this kind of evolving learning intelligence available in every aspect of our lives. And this point really speaks to today's theme, which is anywhere is home, because it's that connectedness which allows you to carry the essence of home with you wherever you go. So what we want is to have all these digital touch points in our lives to be connected. From your smart TV, to your refrigerator, to your smartphone, your car, and even the building that we're in. So all that, these touch points can talk to each other, learn from each other, and work together to serve us, ultimately to serve us much better. And importantly, this connectedness will change the way we organize and use our spaces as well. And this year's LG booth addresses this very point, how we reimagine home space with the power of AI and connectivity. we'll see spaces merging, as well as taking on additional, more specialized, more powerful functions. Ralph, you're the expert on this.
Well, not really an expert, but
I think you are a very humble
I'm
man.
lucky that I can work with many experts. So again, I would like to remind us that we live in a demographic change.
Yes.
That means marketing teams, of course, first of all, love to address the young early adopters. Very understandable. But the key target group is the so-called silver generation.
Yep.
So they are getting more and more. Right? They are much more critical, have a good life experience, and not all of them are very much technology oriented. Right. So for example, my wife and I, we moved to a new apartment 2 weeks ago, and if I would have suggested to think about a smart home installation, I would most probably be just by myself in that apartment, because my wife wouldn't have accepted. So it's about trust. So whenever you can convince me that I trust you and your products, it's more easier for me to convince my wife. Yes. And I like to talk, I talk to many people in many countries, and every year, and in Central Europe, or especially in Germany, is very difficult, as I know, is a difficult market. So the promise is something we have to think about.
So Maurice, can you add on this?
I mean, I agree with you, Ralph. One of the most important things about adoption is usability, right? These things have to work. And being a designer, I've suffered through that challenge for many years. But I think today we're actually at the cusp of maybe a new way of solving this problem, because the systems are getting so smart that they sort of avoid the challenges of usability in the past. You know, think back when we were younger, and the big challenge was programming a VCR.
Oh my God!
Or maybe not
remind me of this.
Fixing the 12 o'clock, right? And even the technological people in the house maybe could do it, and certainly the Luddites could not. Today, my mother just talks to a thing, her smart TV, and says, "Show me Game of Thrones." And the TV just starts playing the content.
You know, I was the only one who could program VCR in my entire neighborhood.
So I think you know, the benefit of this very rapidly moving technology might be that we have new ways of addressing usability concerns that that are interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. Dino,
So,
your thoughts?
Yeah, building on what Maurice was saying, it's really this advanced connectivity, sensing, and computing capabilities we are developing that will bring huge transformation and to many things around us: the homes, the workspace, the cities, the roads, the factories. Yep. And as an example, we feel that a major shift will happen for cars and the transportation system. We can create smart and intelligent car and smart transportation system. And this will be also thanks to some key technologies we are introducing in partnership with LG. 5G to start with, which we have launched with the LG, the first phones this year, early this year. The V2X technology, which allows the car to communicate with each other and communicate with the infrastructure, and also AI combined with that. When we can combine these technologies, we can really rethink and reimagine car and transportation systems, making them more efficient and safer. For example, a smart infrastructure can have some cameras that can detect when a pedestrian is crossing the road, and through the communication, they can tell the cars to stop or to take action to do that. Also the cars, so the autonomous cars will be able to get also this sensing information, do some fusion about these sensors, and take some appropriate decisions, thanks again to these high-speed, low-latency connectivities and car-to-car communication capabilities to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, what are you wearing under your jacket?
So it was just to remind everybody that with the LG, we brought 5G. No, but by the way, it is true. So with LG, we launched the first phone, was the first 5G launches we did it with LG. Yes. We did it in US, we did it in Korea, we did it in Europe. So in 3 countries where we launched 5G first, this April, and May, it was done in partnership with LG.
We really appreciate the partnership. That's great, and thanks for bringing up autonomous vehicles. I knew you were going to talk about this. A lot of people who know LG for home appliances seem a bit puzzled when I say mobility is going to be a key future domain for us. And that's really true because as people are freed from having to drive in the future, they want to make better use of the time in the car, right? So more and more of these home activities will now take place in cars, and that's a tremendous opportunity for companies like LG. We say LG's traditional strength is in home domain, but now all these connected smart cars are becoming basically homes on wheels. We're getting millions and millions of new moving homes on the road. And that's why we are working on a whole range of elements that make up in-vehicle experience. There is, for example, smart seat, which will automatically adjust to your preferences, carry all these different features and functions for you. Future car windows will now double up as displays, where you can enjoy various contents, or you can do work, or even get shopping done inside the car. Dino, we have so much work to do together on this domain.
It's true. So, and with as I was saying before, Qualcomm and LG has a long-standing relationship in mobile communication in general, but also in the car business, where in the last 15 years we have been collaborating to bring telematics solutions for the car industry in the order of millions, actually. I think up to date we have 20 million units, telematic units we have shipped together. And now we are launching together these breakthrough technologies, 5G connectivity platform and the CV2X connectivity platform that will revolutionize again the car and the transportation industry together. So that's, and that is very important because as we have this fast-paced innovation driven by these technologies, I think both companies, we are working together with our expertise to really rethink the things around us and rethink the environment and how we think about the environment. And the car is a great example because the car, in many ways, and I have to borrow a quote from Apple, is, and I believe that is the ultimate mobile device. It will drive the connectivity and computing requirements for the mobile or the silicon industry in the coming years. And think about it, to build on the IP argument before, think about how much space you have available in the car for videos compared to a smartphone. A smartphone, at the end, you are limited from the things you can do. But the car really, if you imagine the car of the future, where it will be more autonomous, you can really rethink the car and do a lot of stuff with involving video. And of course, the expertise of LG is key on that, on the way we will rethink the car.
Cities and transportation system, it's going to revolutionize. Ralph, your thoughts?
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? Right? That's, of course, a very big issue and a real challenge. So how do we use cars in future if we call them cars? I don't know. What else will move us from A to B, right? How can technology bring safety and at the same time make traffic efficient? And how can we at the same time use less energy if possible? That's a real big challenge for designers as well, as you want us to give up on controlling things by ourselves. That's something very big. And trust technology to take over. That's the biggest thing at all. So that will be a very emotional process and needs the best design and psychological skills available. And I'm really wondering if I need a driver license or a user license for that.
Oh my God. Maurice, I need your help here.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned homes on wheels, right?
Yes.
I think that's right. We're entering into an age, if you take all of this technology and put it in a pot, where we can completely redefine what mobility means. So all the rules are gone, and we can, in some ways, start from scratch. We don't need to think about cars just as a box that gets me from point A to point B. Why can't we think about cars as a way to get from point A to point B, but also an office, a movie theater, a hotel room? I'll paint a little picture for you. Let's say you have a breakfast meeting in Paris tomorrow morning.
Actually, I do.
Which you may. Not too far in the future, if you put all of these things together effectively, you could call an autonomous vehicle to pick you up exactly where you want, when you want. You could get in, you have a little bit of work left to do, so you would get to work. And basically, you have everything at your fingertips that you do at your normal physical office. It's the same. You would get some work done, then you want to relax. You can watch a movie in very high fidelity video and audio, basically have an IMAX-like experience inside this vehicle. And then, when it comes time, that seat could flatten out, and you could go to sleep, have a nice 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and then wake up maybe an hour before your breakfast meeting, freshen up, and then have a great, well-rested meeting. For me, sure, it takes longer in elapsed time than flying, because it's an hour flight, plus probably 5 hours door to door. There's some unpleasantness on either end of that. I can avoid all of that unpleasantness. It takes longer, but I'd be sleeping anyway, so I actually get time back. And overall is a great experience. The key to this is that all of these systems need to be interconnected, right? You can't do this without that connectivity.
Yep. Thanks, Maurice. Well, another key aspect of this topic, connect, in terms of increasing intelligent touch points, is that we need to diversify the mode of interaction between our devices and the users. What I mean is that at the moment, much of the focus in AI is on voice recognition. We have Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, and that's great. But when it comes to home appliances, let's say, often we want these machines to figure out what they should do by themselves instead of having to vocalize every single command. That can be pretty annoying, right? So that's why we've been looking into vision intelligence as an additional major channel of cognition. Devices that can see and really understand what they can see are going to open up a whole new potential. Let me quickly show you a couple of examples. This product is called LG Styler, a personal clothing care system. You hang your clothes inside, and it uses cutting-edge steaming technology to shake off wrinkles, dust, and even smell. You'll never use dry cleaning again once you purchase one of these. And what I have here is an experimental vision intelligence module. We're calling it the Vision Pack. It combines visual sensors with cloud connectivity. It's an add-on module, and it can be applied to a whole range of existing appliances. Let me show you how this works. I simply add this Vision Pack inside the styler, like this. Okay. Now, this styler has gained visual awareness of what's going to be inside. And let me find my jacket here, put it inside. Let me close the door and see what happens on the screen.
For this item, you previously used wool and knit coarse. Same again?
Yes, please. Wow, isn't that great? So the Vision Pack scans the item of clothing, and the visual data is sent over to the cloud where analytics identifies the clothing. And it finds the right course for you automatically. All you need to do is confirm by pressing the Start key or just saying yes, just like I did. And you can easily think about how many different devices can make use of this Vision Pack inside of a fridge, oven, microwave, washing machine, so on and so forth. Now, the next item I want to show you is a concept in development. And we're calling this ThinQ Fit at the moment. You might have seen an earlier version of this under the name Smart Mirror. It's an interactive, intelligent signage, which uses our 3D camera technology to let you measure your body size very accurately with your clothes on. Then it creates a realistic avatar with your measurements, and you can use this for virtual fitting to try on different clothes in different size, different color, different texture. And you can go all the way to payment if you want to make the purchase on the item that you chose. So for this one demo, I need a good model. Ralph, you're a good-looking guy. Would you like come up here? Okay, you stand right here.
Yes.
Then let me get Let's start it. It's going to scan you.
Stand straight for a moment.
Yes.
Stand with your arms open. Taking your photo.
Look at the red dot. Okay, and we're
Body
done.
measurement is complete.
Okay.
Don't you stand over side? This is your measurement, 193 centimeters. Is that true?
It's true.
You're a tall guy.
Yeah, true.
And it gives you all the measurements. You can, should I show your weight or not? Okay.
Let's see.
Is that correct?
Well, actually, it's a little bit more, but I take this.
Okay. Let's try on a few outfits. So this is your avatar. It looks like you, huh? Is that nice?
Does it?
So you can, turn this around for 360 view, and look at the texture on the item, and it changes as you select different types of clothing. Let's go to other clothes. Oops. This one. Oops. Okay. There you go. So you can choose different tops, different bottoms. For example, let's say I choose this one. Which top do you want to try next?
I try this.
Right. Okay, good choice. That's how you look. Let's go to your avatar. Nice, very nice choice. Good choice. Looks really good on you. Goes well with your hair.
I like that. That sounds pretty good.
It looks pretty good on you, but let's go to the feature called Fit Map that shows you how well this fits. The system automatically recommended your size 41, but let's see how you look in smaller size 39. Looks a little bit tight, doesn't it?
True.
And it has a feature called Fit Map that lets you visualize how tight or loose the item is by color. Turn that on. Everything is pretty much purple, which is very, very tight, or red. So this is not really a good fit for you. Let's try a big one, 43. Everything is pretty much green. This is way too big for you. Let's go back to the recommended size, 41. That is your right size. So let's go back to your avatar. And if you like this, you can make a purchase if you want. Would you like to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then why don't you come back here?
Okay.
It's going to do a facial scan for authentication. Press checkout.
Yep.
Okay.
I see.
It's doing face recognition. That's it. And it's going to come to your house by mail.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks.
Model Ralph. And of course, all of this data can be taken onto your 5G mobile, so you can carry your avatar in a virtual wardrobe with you. And with that, we can integrate the whole spectrum of services, allow users to capture their existing wardrobes, or use Vision AI for more personalized recommendations. And all this creates a whole new connected fashion experience. It's going to transform the industry, I believe. So, Ralph, how did you like this?
Well, that's something really valuable and should be accepted easily, because that's something people can imagine. And I guess maybe it's a bit different in Korea than it is in Germany, but many men here do not really like to go shopping clothes.
Oh, believe me, it's exactly the same in Korea.
Same? Okay. And we
don't
Germans
like
are not really known as the fashion icons in the world. It's more the Italians on my right, right? They're no more known as the fashion icons, right?
Yes.
That's for sure. But if this idea and this product can really help, let's say, solving time for those who don't like to spend time on shopping, it's something. Of course, it can be good fun as well if you do it at home. And even if you do it online, you can save time as well. But I guess it can really change some things, because if you're not sure, ask your style guide, right? Ask your consultant. What kind of color type am I? Is it warm colors or cold colors? You can save time, at least space. We can save energy, because maybe we don't have that many returns in future.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot.
Very, very good point. Thank you. Oh, wait. I think we have something for you. We have a express delivery from Korea based on the measurements.
From Seoul to Berlin in a minute. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dino, what did you think about this?
So it was a very cool demo, but of course, maybe for Italians, we are not, we are fascinated. But it is true that computer vision is opening up a lot of great possibilities, including for Italians. Yep. So, and we are bringing to fruition many of them, and especially when combined with connectivity, you can create very nice objects and services. For example, connected cameras, connected security cameras are becoming increasingly sophisticated with image recognition and the machine learning we're putting on top of that. Also, camera-based sensors are becoming a very important element in the car autonomy, and in the future they will be used a lot for also for car autonomy and to recognize the environment around the car while you are driving. But also, let me also add that we are also developing some alternative cool ways for machine to see, but without the cameras. Right. For example, using advanced RF sensing technologies, which could be a nice way to mitigate some of the let's say, privacy concerns people may have in using technology. In fact, I'd like to mention this as a nice example where technology can also mitigate some of the concern the public may have on the privacy. Yeah. It will not eliminate it, but I mean, it can help mitigate it.
I think it's a very, very important point. Maurice, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. You know, for people who know fashion, fit is everything. And after using it a little bit yesterday, I really got the sense that I would know how something fits. Cool. So that was cool. You know, speaking about computer vision, I think this is potentially the most important sort of part under the AI umbrella. And you know, that was a good example. But I think LG may have a unique opportunity in this space. And why is that? It's back to the data question. It's the data that you're going to have access to, because that's a unique data set. You know, today we already have algorithms where you can show it a picture and it says, oh, a group of people eating pizza, right? We have algorithms that can understand. Okay, big deal. I can do that too. But the system you're talking about will not only see people eating the pizza, but it'll know what brand of pizza it was. It'll know who is eating the pizza. It'll know where they're eating the pizza in the home. It'll know if someone spilled, dropped something on the floor. It'll know, is that sauce that requires a mop to come, or is it crumbs that requires the vacuum to come clean it up? The system can also learn a lot by watching the humans, again, right? This sort of hybrid intelligence. And they can pay attention to how people are using these products, right? Do people use their right hand or their left hand to open the refrigerator? Who makes the coffee? How do older people in the house do things differently than the younger people in the house? Right? This is very valuable intelligence for a design team to leverage so that you can make better and better products in the future, right? I think what we will see is an evolution from computer vision to computer understanding. And one of the key concepts of this computer understanding is that the systems be open. Systems that can talk to each other.
Right? I think that's very, very important.
I must say that the pizza example shows that Maurice is Italian but lived a lot in US. In Italy, we will never occur to us to think about pizza brands. So.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Very Americanized. About this openness, you know, the whole system has to work. So your system has to be open so that you can connect to all the available services, right? And I'll be the first one to admit that no single player, or not even big companies like LG, can do this alone. So our efforts to evolve and to connect must be open. Open partnerships, open collaboration, open innovation are going to be play a key role in the future. And that's precisely why we decided to open source our WebOS last year. It's an operating system for smart products. There's a dedicated website for this open source edition, WebOSe.org, where anybody can access the platform, build all sorts of wonderful things on it. And we're really investing to encourage everyone to make use of WebOS. we recently co-hosted, for example, WebOS hackathon in Singapore together with Infineon. And the first prize went to a Malaysian startup company who built an IoT flood monitoring system that sends alerts to social media, a social network. And there was also this clip-on module for white canes for the visually impaired that uses sensors and data analytics. And there's potential for many, many other things. And our mission is to find anyone with amazing ideas like these, whether they are global players or a small team of students, and help them realize their vision on a WebOS ecosystem. Just last week, we went a step further by offering open API for our ThinQ platform. So now our partners can freely access this great, versatile AI engine through WebOS as well as on other popular platforms. And we are already using ThinQ to power all of our LG smart products, but now we want to go beyond that, encourage others to use this powerful tool, again, to evolve openly and to connect openly. Our recent partnership with Lumi, one of the largest global IoT brands, is another example of this open approach. They bring a huge range of IoT sensors and controllers to our ecosystem of smart TVs, appliances, and ThinQ platform. And as these elements combine and sync, they become much more intelligent as a system together. So, Maurice, I'd love to hear what you think about this.
Yes, I talked earlier about some of the things made possible with all of the data that LG can gather through these smart interconnected devices, right? But I think what you're talking about now is actually an evolutionary next step, and a couple of things are going to happen. Earlier, you talked about an ecosystem. I think that's exactly right. An ecosystem is interesting because it's greater than the sum of its parts, right? All of the species living in the ecosystem are thriving because of the way that they interact with each other. And in a way, this demo that you just showed represents that, because all of the players in that ecosystem benefit. The customer benefits because they have a great experience and they get clothes that look and feel great, right? The fashion company benefits because they can make just the right clothes available for each customer, and then they can merchandise more efficiently. LG benefits because you bring a great new product to market and can take that success and reinvest it into inventing cool new stuff for the future.
Yep.
And for me, maybe most importantly, the planet could benefit. There's a lot of waste in the fashion industry. It's actually pretty bad.
Yep.
But having a system like this means that maybe they will never make clothes that don't have a customer, right?
Yep.
So you would radically reduce waste. The other thing I see happening is a shift in value. Today, there's a lot of energy focused around gathering data, right? The value is in who has the most data. I think we're going to see a shift away from that to value being who understands the data best, who is doing the most interesting and valuable things with that data. We're going to move from data scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance, where the thing that counts most is actually creativity. I think it's going to be a very interesting next couple of years in this respect.
Yep. Dino, a few words?
And to expand on the WebOS considerations Dr. IP made before, so we at Qualcomm expect WebOS to play a central role as an open platform for bringing together a diverse range of partnership in order to make connected car a reality. And of course, LG has a lot of experience and successfully used WebOS for their smart TVs, and there's been millions of them deployed. So we can leverage on that expertise for the car of the future, where again you have all these video capabilities that can be added to the car. So, and WebOS can play a central role for the infotainment and other services of the car of the future. And with Qualcomm, we are happily partnering with LG and implementing a reference hardware of WebOS based on our platform, Snapdragon platform, and we will be happy to bring it to the car industry in the coming years.
That is so great. Thanks. Ralph?
Yeah, everything we just heard is, to me, just the precondition to create more smart environments or even smart cities, something which we all see as a big challenge, as a next step. And it is easy to imagine what kind of improvement it can bring in many ways. But of course, services, safety, energy, mobility or more will be some of the elements we will identify and get more efficient and more individual. Individuality is one of the core things of our times. But let's please not forget that not everybody is already on the train. And we have to find a human approach. That's really important for everything. Let's please create a user journey that involves as many as possible.
Absolutely. I really fully agree with you, and I also fully agree with all the technology guys that talk about mixture of technology usability. I think we need to find a fine balance. And this has been so fascinating discussing, and time is flying. I'm afraid we have just a few more minutes left, so we're going to have to start wrapping up. But before we go, I'd like to ask each of you just one last question. Is there an item or a key trend that you're most looking forward to at this year's IFA? Or something that we should look out for, and it doesn't have to be an LG item, by the way. Dino, you're up first.
Yeah, three things that are top of my list. So first, I would like to see the latest 5G devices. And by the way, I do recommend you to visit the LG booth to see the LG 5G device, because not only was the first one to launch, but also has a very innovative form factor, unlike all others devices, which are the simple device like this. The LG form factor has a double screen, very interesting technology.
Dual screen phone,
So that is one thing. The latest on AR, VR are really intriguing to me, and I would like to see where the state of the art is, and of course, the latest advancements on autonomous driving.
Very good, thanks. Maurice, your last words?
Yeah, so if I'm completely honest, I want one of those experimental vision units to take home with me. But I've been a big fan of your display technology for years. I stare at your screens for hours and hours every day. And so I'm excited to see what's the cutting edge with my own eyes. And particularly because I think we're at a moment where what may happen soon is we may be able to recreate reality. So this is, what if you can't tell the difference between the real world and what you see on a screen? That unlocks all kinds of things. So I'm curious to see how close we are to that moment.
Yep. Ralph?
Yeah, I think I'm really interested in AI this year, because we from IF have to look at it from a different perspective than engineers do and have to focus more on the human aspect of those things. But of course, we love future developments pretty much. But I would really love to know what would be your pick IP.
Oh, my pick?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to be biased, by the way, sorry. My pick would have to be LG's proactive customer care, which you will be able to see in our booth this year. And I choose it because it has all the elements of Evolve, Connect, and Open that we've been discussing this morning. It's a learning system, first of all, which gathers information about all the devices monitoring. It has to connect with all the appliances in the house. And lastly, we want it to be an open solution that covers a whole range of brands and products, even outside LG. And you'll see the beginning of all that at LG booth, which I know all of you are dying to visit this year. And this year's theme is LG ThinQ Home. And it's all about devices that are evolving, more connected and more open, and eventually, ultimately, to make our lives even better. Well, that's it from me, and thank you once again for joining me today. Ladies and gentlemen, Dino Flore of Qualcomm, Maurice Conti from Alpha, Ralph Wiegmann of IF Forum Design. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful IFA. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us and visiting the LG Future Talk powered by IFA. Please refer to the screen for directions to the LG booth.